Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a short video on the endocrine system, because we're going to go into some more details of specific examples of how the endocrine system works with the nervous system in the next video on homeostatic mechanisms. So the endocrine system is a system of cell-to-cell signaling within the body that relies on hormones. So the way in which it works is that there are cells that produce hormones, and these cells are found within glands. There are glands in the base of the brain, and there are also glands at specific sites around the body. These are closely connected to blood vessels, and so the endocrine cells release their signaling molecules that diffuse into the blood system and throughout the body. If they need to signal to a cell, it'll have a receptor. Some cells target cells will have receptors on the surface. Depending on the type of hormone, it might signal at the surface. Other types of hormones are lipophilic, meaning they can go through the membrane and they will meet their receptors inside the cell. But only cells that are target cells that have the correct receptor will respond to that signal. But it can be diffused throughout the body. So one of the great things about the hormonal system is that this cell can signal to so many different cells within the body because that signal is broadcast. What then happens is that in response to receiving this signal, these cells could change their metabolism. They could secrete other hormones or other proteins, or they might even change the genes that they're producing, or even change their growth rate. So hormones can control the metabolism function of other cells within the body, and this helps to coordinate mass functions like growth or puberty or other things that happen over a long period of time, but also more local and rapid things such as digestion or even adrenaline, changing the state of the body and level of arousal very quickly. So the two types that we're talking about here is that some water-soluble hormones, such as protein hormones, need to bind to a receptor on the cell surface, and through a signaling transduction pathway involving other proteins, that they might change what's happening in the cytoplasm or might change gene regulation. The lipophilic hormones are ones basically derived from cholesterol, and these include estrogen and androgen and other steroid hormones. They will diffuse through the membrane and they have their receptor inside the cytoplasm instead. But yet again, this will go into the nucleus and change gene expression, even producing new proteins. And so hormones regulate the function of cells by signaling to them.